Nick Ferrari at breakfast on LBC.
With Hampton by Hilton, welcoming you to a new hotel in Bristol.
So away from the Paris attacks, although we'll return to more of your reactions and how you tell the children. Muslim families telling their children, very decent Muslim children of decent families, why on earth those people were behaving in that fashion on Friday. Now, it is reported up to 50 Conservative rebels will be expected to formally reject David Cameron's EU renegotiation plans later today and declare Britain should leave the European Union. It's seen as a major challenge to the PM. Members of the Conservatives' Eurosceptic group in Parliament will reject, quotes, feeble renegotiation plans. There could be as many as 50 MPs, MEPs and Conservative peers. So what will that bring to the Brexit debate? Andy Wigmore is with Leave.eu. Joins me now. Mr. Wigmore, how significant might this be?
It's only significant if you think about what's happened over the last few days. I mean, this is nothing new. A lot of people knew that there was a lot of people, Conservatives particularly, within the party who were very sceptical about Cameron's negotiations. But things have changed, and the narrative...
Over the last few days, you mean?
Yes, significantly, the narrative has
changed.
In
what way?
Well, obviously, there has always been Euroscepticism within the Conservative Party, but I think now even the Prime Minister is fully aware that the people, the population, are now very concerned about immigration as a priority. And whilst that in the negotiations that Cameron is putting forward, that isn't necessarily a top topic, it certainly is now, and I don't think that is lost on the Prime Minister at all. We've got a poll out, interestingly, tomorrow, which we took in the aftermath of the Paris tragedy, which illustrates very clearly that people now are wanting some kind of Australian point system, recognising that security is a huge issue. But more interestingly, within that poll, we've discovered that only 16% of people want the British to take military action. And I think when you take a look at those issues, that really refocuses very much how the Prime Minister's got to look at this, regardless of what the Tory MPs think.
What I'm confused about is the Australian point system. If, as it appears, some of the Parisian killers were homegrown, were French citizens, what blind bit of difference would that have made?
Well, in hindsight, of course, now you can say absolutely nothing, but we've got to look...
So what do we want
forward.
The Australian point system for, then?
Well, going forward, we cannot allow this type of situation to continue. For too long, it's been ignored.
Sorry, what type of situation?
Well, the situation that we've been presented with, where you've got, whether it's homegrown radicalism or migrants coming in from places like Syria and North Africa, as you're probably aware, that one of the indications is that one of these people came in through Greece. We've got to make sure we know who's coming into our countries.
But how does that combat homegrown radicalism?
Well, that's a separate issue, Nick. You've got to actually, going forward, address some of the problems that we've got to address full-on, head-on, and we've got to recognise...
I don't understand. How does a point system help combat homegrown radicalism?
Well, that's a separate issue. What we have got to do is make sure that we have full idea of who is coming into our country. You've got to make sure that the type of people you're coming into this country are the type of people you want. And by having full eyes on them and knowing exactly who they are, what they do, exactly how the Australians do it, gives you a better chance of actually stopping and stemming the whole issue about Muslims coming in who are radicalised from Syria and other places like that.
Andy Wigmore, you're with Leave.eu.